Eerie, desaturated historical footage of WWI aftermath, perhaps a desolate battlefield, or returning weary soldiers. Overlay text, the blame game, the lies we tell ourselves. Sound, a low, haunting atmospheric hum, subtle tension. We've all seen it. The desperate need to find a scapegoat when things fall apart. When a glorious nation, a mighty army, faces the unthinkable, defeat, the truth becomes too painful. It couldn't possibly be that the other side was simply better. No, there must be a malevolent force whispering from the shadows, orchestrating our downfall. Transition to a stark image of a German WWI propaganda poster, then a quick dissolve to an early Nazi rally, emphasizing the emotional intensity and fervor. Sound, a subtle, unsettling dissonant chord as the stab in the back myth is mentioned. This desperate search for an internal enemy gave birth to a wound that festered in Germany after World War I. The stab in the back myth, a poison blaming communists and Jewish people for a defeat inflicted by Britain, France, and the United States. This toxic lie, this desperate act of self-deception, didn't just rewrite history, it ignited a dark fire, playing a chillingly significant part in the rise of the Nazi regime and another devastating global war. And yet, this narrative, so powerful, so destructive, was a complete fabrication. A moment of pause on screen, perhaps. A single thought-provoking image of a soldier looking lost. Text on screen. Why did Germany really lose World War I? Sound. The atmospheric hum intensifies slightly, building a sense of curiosity and anticipation. So, if it wasn't the shadowy internal enemies, if it wasn't a betrayal from within, then why did Germany, with all its power and pride, truly lose World War I? This isn't a question you can simply Google, like your date of birth or home address. No, this requires a deeper dive, a courageous look at the uncomfortable truths. Shift to a more modern, slightly abstract visual representing data flowing, perhaps with subtle, ominous undertones. Text, your data, their commodity. Sound, a slightly more corporate, but still empathetic tone. Because the grim reality is, while some truths are hard to uncover, others are frighteningly easy to find. For the wrong people, the companies we trust with our most personal information, they're either getting robbed or they're straight up selling it. Once it's out there, your life becomes a commodity. Data brokers trade your latest details, your habits, your vulnerabilities, using them for advertising, spam, and far more sinister things. Fraud. And here's the kicker. It's usually legal, unless you step in. But trying to claw back your privacy from this digital Wild West, it's a battle designed for you to lose. Clean, reassuring visuals of Aura's interface, perhaps a shield icon, a lock, text. Aura, reclaim your privacy. Sound. Music shifts to a slightly more optimistic, empowering tone. That's where Aura comes in. Imagine a service that actively hunts down every shadowy seller peddling your personal information online. And then, Aura meticulously navigates the legal maze, getting your data scrubbed, permanently deleted. All you do is give the order, and then you wait. You wait for your privacy to be restored, for that unsettling feeling of vulnerability to dissipate. Quick, dynamic cuts showcasing Aura's features. Antivirus, VPN, perhaps a visual of a secure connection. Text, real-time security, total protection. And speaking of security, Aura goes far beyond just scrubbing your data. They provide a full suite of services for all your devices, giving you real-time intelligence on where your information is getting leaked, offering robust antivirus protection, and providing a VPN for secure browse. And for our viewers in the US, there's 24/7 customer support, ready to instantly tackle any digital threat. The Aura logo prominently displayed with the specific URL, aura.com kings. A clear, inviting call to action button. Want to see just how much Aura can uncover for you? We're offering a 2-week free trial. Just click our link in the description, aura.com/kings. Take control of your digital life. Reclaim your peace of mind. Return to historical footage, perhaps. A powerful image of trench warfare, or a battle map showing German advances, and then a sudden halt. Sound. music returns to a slightly somber, historical tone. For a long time after the Great War, a consensus settled over German society. A comforting lie. Our army wasn't defeated on the battlefield. Even Friedrich Ebert, the first leader of the Weimar Republic, echoed this sentiment to returning soldiers. Kein Feind hat euch überwunden. No enemy has vanquished you. But as comforting as that myth may have been, it was fundamentally, tragically incorrect. Animated map illustrating the Schlieffen Plan's intended movements, then showing the actual disastrous outcome. Sound. A subtle ding sound as the plan's flaws are highlighted, then a more ominous sound as reality hits. While there are myriad complex reasons for Germany's defeat, the first and foremost was the harsh reality of the battlefield. Germany was caught in a two-front war, and their grand strategy, the Schlieffen Plan, was a gamble against fate. It was built on wildly optimistic assumptions. Russia taking weeks to mobilize, Belgium offering little resistance. A meticulously crafted, yet inherently fragile domino effect, where everything had to go right. Continue with the animated map, showing Russian mobilization, troops being diverted, Belgian resistance. Then, the First Battle of the Marne. Sound. Increasing tension in the music, perhaps a sharp, impactful sound when the Marne stalemate occurs. But the dominoes fell in the wrong direction. Russia mobilized in just 12 days, forcing German troops to abandon the Western Front. Belgium, against all expectations, fought fiercely, delaying the advance. And then, the First Battle of the Marne, in September 1914, a brutal, grinding halt. The German Chief of Staff, von Moltke, famously declared that day, "Germany has lost the war." The dream of a swift, decisive victory shattered, replaced by the Seeung, nightmare of a war on two fronts, draining Germany's precious resources. Images of German industrial might, then stark visuals of shortages, perhaps empty shelves or ration cards. An animated representation of the British naval blockade. Sound. A low, grinding sound, symbolizing economic strain. At the war's outset, Germany was an industrial titan, the leading steel producer in the world. But Britain held the trump card, the largest navy on Earth. They imposed a relentless naval blockade, a stranglehold that slowly, inexorably starved Germany's military production. Vital resources, cordite, nitrates, camphor, began to vanish. Images of bustling German factories, perhaps showing increased shell production, but then a subtle hint of the cost to civilians. Sound, a brief moment of energetic, industrial. Sound, then back to the grinding economic strain. Germany transitioned to a ruthless wartime economy, prioritizing the military above all else. For a time, it seemed to work. Shell production soared. But this was a Faustian bargain, a desperate measure that would eventually exact a devastating toll on the German people. A stark visual comparison of Central Powers. If you guys want this video next part, so you have to complete 100 comment in this video, then I'll release the next part of this video.